Alright, my dudes, it's time for a different kind of video. This tier list, it's not even a tier list, it's not a tier list video, it's more of a review on the unreleased units that are yet to come to Global Grand Cross. Now, I can tell you for free that most of these units are very interesting, besides Mono, who is probably the worst, but we're going to discuss each and every one of them, and you know, maybe we will discuss whether you should summon or not, maybe not, I don't know, we'll have to see. Global always does things differently. Like, you know, they released the Red Evil Lilia with Festival King of all units. I mean, it makes sense because those two work very well together. When on JP, she released with this Mono as part of the Blue Barn final boss. But yeah, let's take a look. All right, so oh, Mono, blue Mono, let's take a look at the girl. And that's the wrong Mono. She is she's not the greatest, man. Increases the hero's damage dealt by 30% per ultimate move gauge orb the enemies have while when attacking, excluding PvP. So yeah, at that point, just yeah, excluding PvP. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. She's garbage. When they say excluding PvP, yeah, chances are it's not gonna be that great. So Mono is whatever, man. We couldn't give a damn. Next up is the Red Shin. I feel like I've already spoken about Red Shin before sometime in my videos, but Red Shin is very, very, very good. Crit unit. You guys already know what that means. However, he is a crit unit unlike other crit units. He is basically the upgrade on Levi, whereas Levi was basically the upgrade on Blue Goth, on Blue Zolgis, sorry, Blue Goth or Blue Zolgis. So yeah, Gamer Shin, Halloween Gamer Shin. Skill 1, Inflict Spike. Skill 2, AoE, and then only allow the use of rank 1s on rank 2 and 3. So very nice skill set. Passive, attacking enemy with a debuff will result in a crit, guaranteed. Basically like Levi, except it doesn't matter how much HP they have, all that matters is that they have a debuff, which is very good because you can proc the debuff yourself. You know, you got him with Gotha, you rank up the boy Shin, you use his debuff card, you use his single target, guaranteed crit, incredibly high base crit damage, like level 1 base stats with 160% crit damage. That is insane. Of course, his crit chance is irrelevant. His resistance is pretty good actually at level 1. The pierce rate does suck PP, but you know, not much we can do there. He only gets a crit damage bonus of 3% because he already has insanely high crit damage at level 1, that is, which is pretty cool. And he also does benefit from a Demon Meliodas link. Ultimate is basically Blue King's ignore resistance, AoE, very, very good stuff. Shin released with Roxy on JP, and I certainly hope this is the case for Global, because I would like to 6-6 both of them, because I do think they are very, very good units, and it would be a shame if they are on separate banners, because you know, I don't want to dip my toes that deeply. But yeah, Red Shin, add a row above. Very good. I'm not gonna say like must summon or something like that, you know, but I'll just classify them. Red Shin, very good. Now let's take a look at Roxy, because Red Shin, you know, he's gonna do well in any team that has Gotha in it just because of the way he works. But Roxy is very interesting because she actually provides us with a whole new team comp that we can run, and that is 4 humans. Yes, 4 humans is actually insanely good due to the girl Roxy. Passive is absolutely bonkers. Increase the attack related stats of this hero in the battle by 15% for each ally of the same race. Now, I'm not sure if this includes her. I'm fairly certain it would include her, because why the hell would it not? If it does include her and you're on a full human team, she gets an attack related stat buff of 60%, which is disgusting. And then, of course, if it doesn't include her, it would be 45%, which honestly, like 45% attack related stat buff, dude, that's more than what Green Gotha gives you at max stacks. So yeah, that is pretty damn insane. I can't wait for her to come to Global, because I'm just going to be running a bunch of different like all human teams. She's insane. The first skill was low-key pretty irrelevant. I mean, it has good percentages, that's all that matters, because she is going to have incredible substats. You know, you can already take a look, like, if she's buffing these by like 45% at max, like, it really doesn't matter how low they are, because they're just going to get buffed so much. So the fact the first skill does have a good percentage is very important. Cancel stance is just a whatever, it's a bonus. Second skill is charge AoE. This is Lost Vein Meliodas AoE, if you're unaware. So yeah, very, very good AoE. And she does get some crit damage and some crit chance, which, you know, fair play. She also does have some of the highest pierce rate of any single unit. She has incredibly high pierce rate, which is always a nice bonus. Remember, the more pierce rate you have, the more damage you'll naturally do. So yeah, the green Roxy is absolutely insane. Pretty disappointed with her links. I have no idea why on earth Fat King is a link. I don't know if that's to do with the lore, because I know all of the OCs have some kind of lore garbage related to it, but I don't really pay attention to that stuff. But yeah, Roxy, fantastic unit. Very good. Very, very good. She is incredibly powerful. Now let's get on to the source. This is what people on Global are expecting. Well, not expecting, but anticipating, you know, as the next must-summon thing. Because we are very well aware that these Archangels are 99% going to release before the Wonder. So this is the next big thing that people want to summon for. So let's look at the Archangels. First off, we have Sariel. He enables a whole different team comp as well, so you know, if you like having fun in PvP, very important to get this man. Let's start off with his passive, Will of the Angel. Increase the basic stats of all goddess allies by 20% of the hero's basic stats. Where have I seen this before? Oh yeah, Blue King has this, but it's only 8% and it's for fairies. So yeah, we're talking about power skill here. Grace of Tornado. You'll pretty much, honestly, like any DPS in the game, Sariel is probably going to be the link for them, because this Grace is just incredibly good. If a critical strike occurs when the hero uses a skill, ignore 50% of the enemy's critical defense. So basically, if you crit, you do more damage with the crit. Happy days, just more damage. Yes, that's exactly what we need. We just need more damage. Skill 1, Sever, which by the way, they buffed Sever. It's now a 3 times crit chance increase instead of a 2 times crit chance increase, aka guaranteed crits. You love to see it. You don't even need to run this guy on the crit team. I guess you could run him in Ludo Kitchen Sink team just for BM. Like, yeah, you literally just BM in your opponent. But yeah, very, very good. This skill at level 3, I've seen it one-shot entire teams easily. So yeah, very powerful. And this right here, the second skill, is very unique. There's only one of these in the entire game, and it belongs to him. Inflicts Power Strike. Power Strike, additional damage based on enemies' resistance. This is basically the game's way of saying attack someone who's tanky and just punish them for being tanky. This skill shreds Green Gotha, by the way. Green Gotha has very high resistance. It also shreds units like Lost Vein, like Goddess Liz. Anyone with high resistance gets shredded just because they have high resistance thanks to this skill, and it's actually pretty damn powerful. 190 at level 1, 285 at level 2, 475 at level 3. Very, very good stuff. And the ultimate is you know, Sever, triple crit chance, single target. I don't really have much to say about that. Yeah, you thought Shin had high crit damage? Bro, 170. And he gets 16% at SA2. Yeah, and they even give him crit chance just to rub it in even more. Yeah, I mean, he has really good pierce rate as well, considering these are only level 1 base stats, and he has very, very respectable resistance with a very nice lifesteal of 10% at base, with pretty low crit resistance and somewhat subpar crit defense. But nonetheless, man, Sariel is an insane unit, fantastic. Let's add a row above, and we just call this Sugoi, and we just put the boy there because he is Sugoi. Next up, we do have the boy Tomio. Not my kind of unit, if I'm being completely honest. I am not a fan of units with this design, but let's take a look at Tomio. Wrath of the Angel. Decreases all enemies max HP by 200% of the hero's defense. Basically, they just want you to use triple defense with this man in geared PvP. In ungeared, you can't really artificially boost your defense unless you use defense food, which I think is a big waste. But whatever, hey, you lower their HP for free, basically, at the start of the... it's fine, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay, it's a good passive. His Grace of Ocean. When the hero takes damage on enemy's turn, recover HP equal to 150% of defense. So basically, anyone with high defense, you can give them Tomio and they will just, you know, heal up some HP at the start of the turn, free of charge. From what I've seen, the heal wasn't that powerful in ungeared, but in geared, the heal was actually pretty damn powerful, especially when you put him on some tank units. Some units like, you know, the Dians and the Draws, units who have really high defense. So yeah, but not the greatest grace, if I'm being completely honest. Nothing like Ludo's or Sariel's, but yeah. Skill 1 is just deplete 1 gauge. You know, we've seen this skill a million times. Skill 2 is pretty damn cancerous. If you play against it, it's really not fun. Assume a stance for 1 turn. Reduces the final damage taken by 40% when an ally is attacked, and then he will take 40% of the 40% that the ally took. So yeah, bit of a bubble, and then it's 50-35 and then 65-30. It's really cancerous, man. If you play JP, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This skill is not fun at all to play against, because you just can't do any damage really. Lost Vein just can't do damage against this skill, which you know, that should tell you a lot. The ultimate inflicts damage equal to 420% of defense, that goes up to 630, and heals HP of all allies equal to 30% of the damage dealt. So you pretty much get a full heal off this. So yeah, but Tomio, really high pierce rate, decent resistance, crit chance, crit damage is irrelevant. He's a tank unit, and yeah, not my style of unit, but he is very good. Next up is Red Jericho. I don't really have too much to say about Red Jericho. I mean, I was typing in red. She's pretty cute. Unwavering Will. When the hero uses a skill and critical hit occurs, decreases defense related stats of the enemy that took the crit by 40%. This doesn't stack with Ludocio, which is very disappointing. I really hoped it did, but it did not stack with Ludocio because I did test this. Skill 1, just damage on rank 1, and then it freezes. And then for whatever reason, when the freeze is removed by using skills, ultimate moves, or turn has passed, inflict damage equal to 20% of the remaining HP. So if you attack them after you freeze them, they just take extra damage for literally no reason. The skill is a bit BM, but you know, it's fine. Really good skill. And then skill 2, just detonate. Detonate is very, very powerful. I respect it. And then just the usual, you know, Jericho shenanigans. Really high crit damage, decent crit chance, good lifesteal. And at level 8, he's 6'6". These are outdated. Jericho did get a massive stat buff, but I don't think Aoki has updated the website, but that's fine. Jericho is, I would say she's very good. She is actually very good. Next up is the boy Arthur. Let's quickly take a look at Arthur. I am low-key running out of time. I need to hurry up. The boy Arthur, sadly, his passive is irrelevant because it excludes PvP and raids. So I guess this only applies when you're doing, you know, like what's that thing called, a Tower of Challenge or whatever. But increases allies damage dealt by 35% and decreases allies damage taken by 35% if all allies are alive. So very insane passive for PvE. Skill 1 is pretty irrelevant, just the disable buff and debuffs. In PvE this is good. In PvE it's pretty irrelevant. Skill 2 is just damage. It's just pure, just damage. It's the strongest AoE that's not rupture. So yeah, it literally just does damage. Really good crit chance, really good crit damage, yada yada. You guys know the gist of Arthur at this point. Green Arthur is a very good unit, and he is also a free unit. Next up, let's take a look at Easton. Easton is I don't think she'll be that good on global, but she's still really good. Weak point single target, nothing special there. Disable recovery skills at level 1, and then prevent the ultimate move gauge from filling up at level 2 and 3, and at level 3 also decreases attack by a little, so you know, it's pretty good. Passive increases all allies pierce rate, crit chance, crit damage by 5% per debuff on enemies. So you use one of her skills, one of the debuff skills that is, and that's an easy 15% attack related stat buff minus the attack. So yeah, very good stuff there from Easton, but I don't think she's that relevant, or she won't be that relevant on global, because she's an alt rush counter, right? And we already have the best alt rush counter in the game, which is Festival King Team. But you know, it is what it is. She'll still be good though. Decent stats, nothing too crazy. Good ultimate, not much to say about her. She is very good. And next up is let me just yeah, let's just give him the respect he deserves, of course. It's the boy Escanor Zawan. His passive is a doozy. Hero gains a buff which increases all stats by 6% at the start of the turn. When there are 3 stacks of this, remove debuffs and become immune to debuffs for 1 turn. After that, remove a stack until only 1 is left and stack it all over again. Do the whole thing all over again. So yeah, basically on turn 3, he's going to have a 18% all stat buff, which is 3% more than what Rugal has. And you guys already know just how dangerous Rugal is when you proc his passive. And he's also immune to debuffs for that turn. So yeah, very, very, very good. The bonk is like the strongest single target attack in the entire game. This thing is absolute nuts. Do additional 0.8% damage per 1% remaining HP. Now I was told that the way this is calculated is really weird. I thought they just add 80% to the 500, but apparently it's, I don't know how they calculate it, but let's just say it's hits incredibly hard. Second skill kind of sucks actually. It has like really good percent, but you know, because it's not as powerful as the influx card, it just seems a little underwhelming, but it's still, you know, very high percentages, very good. And ultimate divine sword Escanor, 720%, inflict death, which basically just does a second hit. You can easily at 6/6 or even with just like a few dupes, you can easily kill 2 units on the field with this ultimate. So yeah, very good. And of course he does just have monstrous stats besides resistance, right? Because you don't want to make someone who's incredibly powerful who's also tanky as hell. That would be a terrible idea. But yeah, Escanor is what we are all looking for. Expect him for the global anniversary. And last but not least, Assault Meliodas, who's not on this tier list because Nag has not updated it, so I need to speak to him about that. But yeah, let's get on to Assault Meliodas, who honestly I think is just a little step beneath Escanor, but it's really not by much. He forces you into using full commandments of all demons. I mean, you can run a unit in sub who's a different type, but if you lose an ally and the other unit has to come in, you're going to lose his passive. If all allies are demons or commandments, when allies take damage, increase stats by 5% and decrease defense related stats of all enemies by 15% for 2 turns, limit 5 times. So he has basically the one Escanor's passive with Ledocio's passive on crack. So yeah, rupture damage, sure thing. Amplify when he buffs himself, yeah, sure thing. And then ultimate is just insane, increases basic stats and it's AoE. So yeah, also he does have monstrous stats. And well, I don't have much to say about Assault Meliodas. I do think at max, when you fully build him up, he's much stronger than Escanor, but Escanor is stronger out of the gate. So yeah, Assault. Don't really have a specific order for the tier list. I just wanted to go over all of the units that Global doesn't have, just to, you know, keep the Global dudes up to date on what these units do. But generally speaking, I mean, all the units we're missing out are actually good. I think the worst is probably Red Jericho, and even she's pretty damn good. So yeah, that should tell you a lot about what Global's missing out on. We're literally, I mean, look, all right, where's Red Fat King? We don't have Red Fat King, and maybe there's some other garbage that I'm missing out, but this is the good stuff, right? I don't care about the garbage stuff, I care about the good stuff, and this is all the good stuff that we have yet to come. This is Assault Meliodas, by the way, not Red Demon Meliodas, just to let you know. But yeah, that will be it for today's review, guys, of the unreleased units. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like on the video, subscribe to my channel if you are new, turn on that notification bell, and become a member of the channel if you are feeling generous. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.